Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Favorite Album of the Year. We've arrived in 2015. Just a couple more to finish out this very fun series. So, always good to look back on these years. You know, as we get kind of closer to 2019, obviously each year is pretty fresh in my mind anyway, because, not that long ago, and a lot of those albums I picked just a couple years ago, I'm still really digging quite a bit, and there hasn't been as much time in between the years as earlier in this series where, you have to kind of go back and think about what were your kind of favorites, in 82, 87, 79, 2001, all that kind of stuff, and, how have those albums kind of stood the test of time with you here. Man, these are still standing the test of time for me pretty well. So, my favorite is actually the same album that I picked as my favorite in 2015. It was my album of the year in 2015. My runner-up today actually rose, I think, a rung. Okay, rose a spot. It's going to take over from the album that was number 2 at the time when I put together my year and best of list, although my then number 2 I still dig a lot. But the one that's going to be my runner-up today really has become not only one of my favorites of that year, but the first in a small line of some terrific releases from that particular band who I think has really come back to form. So let's start with my favorite of the year, right? So it was released July 24th, 2015 for Nuclear Blast Records, produced by Michael Romeo. I'm talking about Underworld by Symphony X. Yes, indeed. Some of you are probably saying, has Symphony X won more of these favorite shows for you than any other band? It's probably pretty close. I would have to think by this time it's either Symphony X, Dream Theater, or Opeth, I think, who have the most wins, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's Symphony X. Pretty sure. But I think this is at least number 4. I don't know. I'll check my list in a second. But back to this album. A great release. I think that, like I said, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think that Symphony X, for me, is one of those bands that just keeps getting better and better and better. Their albums keep getting more and more epic. Whether you want to call them progressive metal or power metal with lots of progressive tendencies or neoclassical metal, Michael Romeo and company know their prog, they know their metal, they perfectly blend the two. Romeo also has an affinity for kind of like, soundtracks and big movie film scores and that sort of thing. So you got this band is just filled with all these kind of epic arrangements and thunderous guitar riffing and virtuoso guitar soloing and great keyboards. Russell Allen's fantastic vocals. The rhythms are fantastic. The songs are epic. You got, songs like Nevermore and the title track, Without You, Kiss of Fire blazes. Charon, love that song. To Hell and Back, In My Darkest Hour, Run with the Devil, Swan Song, and of course the mighty proggy Legend to finish it all off. Then you got the great overture to kind of kick things off at the beginning. Big songs, big production, tons of hooks, amazing musicianship. Kind of has it all. Big fan of these guys. Big fan of these guys. My number 2, or my runner-up, I should say. These guys, for me, have regrouped, been on a roll. They've got he's not new anymore, but they got a newish singer who helped kind of pick up things with this band and bring them back to form. Sometimes a kind of parting of longtime band members needs to happen when a band is just not going on a good path. And in the case of Queensryche, Condition Human, Jeff Tate and the guys needed to part ways. There was just no ands if or buts about it. The kind of the direction that they were going was going nowhere. The sales were dwindling. Interest in the band was dwindling. And quite frankly, the albums weren't that good. So in comes Todd La Torre, however he says his name. He's an amazing singer. Comes in, all right. Used to be in Crimson Glory. Comes in, yeah, he sounds very similar to Jeff Tate, but he brings that kind of similar approach and style and sound. Invigorates the band to go back and start writing and recording material that's more closely aligned to their classic 80s output. Okay, so Condition Human was actually the second of the 3 so far they released with Todd. They had the self-titled one and the most recent one. A dynamite album. full of hooks, full of tasty progressive metal kind of ensemble playing here. Lots of, very cool twin guitar harmonies going on, heavy riffs. Like I said, great vocals, catchy hooks. This is the Queensryche I want to hear. Okay, no disrespect to Jeff Tate. We all love him. Okay, but this band was just sinking down the tubes quicker than something tied to a 500-pound rock. They needed to part ways. All right, and I think that Queensryche back on track. Last 3 albums. This is the second one. I dig it. I still listen to this album, like it a lot. It's just filled with memorable songs. I know there's people out there be like, oh, but it's not quite as good as, Rage for Order and Operation Mindcrime. No. Is anything ever going to be as good as that? No. However, this, is the best thing they've done since Promised Land. And the new album notwithstanding. That's the facts, guys. You can't tell me that here in the Now Frontier and Q2K and all that's just, ugh. This is the Queensryche I want to hear. Just my opinion, of course. So there you have it. Those are my 2 favorites of the year. Underworld. I'm still on the Odyssey from a couple years ago. Underworld from Symphony X. Condition Human from Queensryche is my runner-up. What else have I got going on my list that I was looking at here? All right, so Nile, What Should Not Be Unearthed, was actually originally my number 2 back in 2015, and I still love it a lot. It's probably my number 3 here. Steven Wilson's Hand Cannot Erase is absolutely mind-blowingly fantastic. Mr. Wilson just knocking it out of the park once again. Iron Maiden, The Book of Souls, great double album. All right, Pentagram, Curious Volume, a great release from those veteran doomsters. Ghost, Meloria, all right. I'm surprised Ghost hasn't pulled up on more of my list here. Camelot, Haven, okay. Amorphous, Under the Red Cloud, Enslaved, In Times, Whitesnakes, The Purple Album, Armored Saint, Wind Hands Down, Spock's Beard, The Oblivion Particle, and Magic Pie, King for a Day. Those are some of the other albums that I was considering for here, or at least taking a second gander at. So as far as I want to check and see how many times. So Symphony X has won this year. They won in 2011 with Iconoclast. Let's see. So that was 2. We had Opeth and Mastodon winning a bunch of years, and then all right, I know there's more. Come on. Divine Wings of Tragedy in '97. They Paradise Lost won one of these years, right? Oh, how about for the Odyssey in 2002, and then they also won for Paradise Lost. What year was that? Why am I not finding it? So it might be 5 wins for Symphony X actually. Yeah, I don't know where Paradise Lost is here. I'm trying to remember which year that was. I thought that was early 2000s, right? The Odyssey was 2002. I think it was after that, right? Anyway, it's on here somewhere. There we go. Paradise Lost 2007. So we got 5 wins for Symphony X so far in this tournament. That is, or in this tournament, in this series for me. But anyway, curious to see what you guys come up with for 2015. Remember, we got 2016, 17, 18, 19. That's it. And then I'm going to pick, I was originally going to do my 10, but I might pick my 5, what I consider my 5 strongest years out of all the years that we've covered since 1965. I'll just go, maybe I'll do 10. We'll see. We'll see how I feel the day of. And I'll give you my my picks and some of my favorite releases from those calendar years. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Coming up immediately, going to rank the studio albums of Procol Harum. Going to give you top 10 songs of Steve Miller Band. And then later today, probably see this, either late this afternoon or tonight, my interview with Neil Morse, formerly of Spock's Beard, currently of Transatlantic, Neil Morse Band, Flying Colors, all sorts of stuff. He's going to talk about the new album that he's finished with Mike Portnoy and Randy George, Cover to Cover Part 3, where they tackle all sorts of cool cover songs of prog greats, pop greats, rock greats, all sorts of stuff. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and we'll be talking about that and see what else is going on in the world of Neil Morse. So stay tuned for that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. Check us out on Facebook, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. And we'll see you guys later on, plus tomorrow, 2016. All right, take care. Bye-bye.